Coming to the FPL Green Room with me, Gianni and her, Holly Chand.
Coming up in today's show, we're going to react to all of the action from Game Week 28, and then we're going to be planning ahead for blank Game Week 29, where we've got 4 teams without a fixture. One of us is free hitting, the other one is considering a free hit. We're still not in a position where we're maybe locked in on that. And we have some big news on this podcast as well today.
Oh yeah, we do have some news. I mentioned on Twitter once, and I think on my YouTube channel once, that I'm going to Italy for 3 months. I've purposely timed it. It's the end of the season, 3 quietest months of the calendar year for a FPL content creator are April, May. Yes, the football's busy, but by then your views have dipped. And then June is the month where there's no FPL. So when July hits, you're back into busy mode again. The game's launched. So I've going on a 3-month trip to Italy, and I really want to reduce my workload when I'm there. So with a very heavy heart, and because our accommodation is so small on a Sunday evening, record times with my daughter's bedroom behind me with no door, by the way, her bedroom, it's like an open plan, second 1.5 room flat. We're not going to do another pod this season, which is it's very sad, but you can still check me out for my content on my channel, Holly out for content on her channel, but we're still here today. We're still online. We're still active. We're still on YouTube. We're still on Twitter. It just means, this pod, this will be our last one.
Yeah, and you're following your Italian heritage. So I think you're going to be coming back. You're going to be fluent in Italian. Maybe we will see future versions of this pod where you are speaking Italian. Maybe that could be a new feature going forward.
I bloody should be, honestly. Like picking up Italian as a kid, like just so much pidgin Italian, and my dad speaks with Sicilian dialect. I'm looking forward to just having solid time there to improve the language, get Cam speaking Italian, my wife, who understands bits, like but can't, isn't fluent. Same with my daughter, who's 2.5. We'll go to nursery there. So the lifestyle is going to be lovely. We've got a lovely place. Going to be in Tuscany, and maybe get some Fiorentina games. Now my local team. Florence is an hour's drive, so I'm very excited for that.
It's really exciting. I'm jealous. Like, it's great to be able to do this, and like, obviously your little girl is at the perfect age where she's not started school yet or anything like that, so you can just pick it all up and enjoy yourself. But obviously I am going to miss you.
I know, we've
had these weekly chats.
Yeah. Well, they've been loads of fun, and thank you to everyone that has watched this season. And look, we've still got today's show, so don't go anywhere. Let's get cracking with it, shall we, Hol? Because I'm on free hit 29. You might be. Remember, guys, the teams that are blanking are teams that I really like, which is part of the reason why I'm on free hit 29. I'm quite heavily involved with Aston Villa. I've got 1. Newcastle, I've got 2. Crystal Palace, I've got 3, and Liverpool, I've got 2. For me, I was happy to go and buy those players in the last few weeks and commit to free hit 29. It's not optimal. The optimal chip strategy, I think, that the masses are doing is to save the free hit for the 33 double or the blank in 34. And one of those weeks is your free hit, and you wildcard in 31, and you're dead ending effectively in 29. That's what the masses are doing. At my rank, I can't really do that. I need to think a little bit differently. I quite like my approach. It means I can go big on Palace, who are doing well, and Newcastle. They both double in 32. I can have Liverpool players still. I'm not selling Salah to buy him back. I can still get Haaland in 30. I'm quite up for the free hit. The only bad thing about free hit 29, Holly, is the fixtures in 29 don't really jump great free hit week, but the stuff around it is really good.
Yeah, it's really tricky, isn't it? Like, I look at my team, I can get to 10, I think, for free, but that means that Vandenberg is fit. I haven't done what you've done and committed. So I could have bought a third Liverpool player for 28. I could have bought a Munoz for 28. And I didn't do those things because I still wanted to remain flexible. At the moment, I'm thinking I'm not going to free hit. But if I was to be hit by an injury before the deadline, then I think I could still potentially do it, because I've got 2 Liverpool players, 3 Villa players, and 2 Newcastle as well. And like you say, it's the fixtures coming out of it are great for those teams. And while 33 also looks great for free hit, and potentially 34 as well, they're not going to be massively bumper game weeks that maybe we expected with how all the FA Cup shook out and that. So if you're in a position where you're looking at your team for the 29 and you're wanting to free hit, then this is your permission, I guess, to go for it. So What is jumping out at you in terms of the fixtures then? Because we've got Everton at home to West Ham, Ipswich at home to Forest, City are hosting Brighton, Southampton have got Wolves, Bournemouth, Brentford, and then on the Sunday we've got Arsenal, Chelsea, Fulham, Spurs, and Leicester, Man United.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 3 that jump out straight away, and they're ones where I'll go, I'm going to have double or triple. In fact, I'm going to say 4. There's 4 teams at the moment. My current draft has got a triple up or a double up. Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich. I'm currently on Sells, Gibbs White, and Wood. This is in my squad. I could be benching Gibbs White. I'm on Triple City. It's going to be Gvardiol, Haaland, and then 1 punt. And by the way, we should hear a team leak because Man City are playing in the first games. It's a 1:30 deadline, and Man City at 3 o'clock. They're a team we get leaks for. If I hear De Bruyne is starting, or even Foden's more likely. De Bruyne's minutes have been so bad, but you can punt there.
Foden has to be in your free hit team, surely. He has to be.
Yeah, I know. It feels right, doesn't it? It feels right for me. Bournemouth versus Brentford. I think that's probably got goals, but I'm happy going double Bournemouth attack. They're that good. They were really impressive against Spurs on Sunday. They were unlucky to draw 2-2. And Brentford always give you chances. And Bournemouth, I think, at the vitality will be strong. And I'm going to go double Man United, Holly. Maybe even triple Man United. And I know people go, it's Man United. But it's also Leicester, right? I had Bruno earlier this season for 17 points against Leicester.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, can't celebrate much this season, but I'll take that. Bruno Dallo, 2 for me, and then maybe a punt on a Xerxes or a Garnacho. I don't know. Maybe a punt. It's Leicester. We have to target Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton. And we can do that on free hit. You can go Forest, Man United. The other team playing one of those 3 is Wolves. 8 Norries in. I don't know if I want another Wolves player away to Southampton. But yeah, it's not the most exciting free hit in the world, but there's still enough to differentiate you from the template. Yeah, everyone will own Chris Wood and Brian and Burmo and Gabriel, maybe Palmer or Haaland, but that's about it.
Yeah, and I just feel like you need to go with Foden if you're going for that triple City.
I know.
And I think we will get the leagues, obviously. So there's 4 3 o'clock kickoffs. There's no early kickoff. So you've got those 4 3 o'clock kickoffs to pick from in terms of leagues, which should really
Sky,
help.
Holly. That's amazing, isn't it? Because when we come off air at 10:56 with an 11 deadline, I can't react to much. But this gives me a few hours.
You'll be on the M1.
Hard shoulder. That's what it's there for.
Sorry, guys. Just got to set my team. That's hilarious.
Go on. You were saying, who are the other teams at 3 then?
Yeah, I think in terms of Bournemouth, how much investment do you think from Bournemouth then? Because it's getting tricky now. Evan Nielsen's back, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't watch the Chelsea game. I listened to Chelsea whilst watching Bournemouth versus Spurs. I had both on. Bournemouth was so good. You don't play Spurs every week. Fine. But Brentford also give you big chances. Evan Nielsen and Kluivert, the link there down the middle for both of them look really good. They're the 2 threats, for goal. Semenyo was quieter. He's obviously wide. Tavernier had a good game, but it's wide. Evan Nielsen's a starter. We know he was signed for the Solanke replacement. As soon as he's back fit, he's in the 11. He started in the FA Cup. He started on Sunday. Evan Nielsen might not get 90, but he'll get chances.
Yeah, I think I guess it just depends. Do you know what formation you're going to be going in?
At the moment, I've got Morgan Gibbs White benched. I've got Chris Wood in my 11, Gibbs White benched, and he's my 8th attacker. So it's a 3-4-3.
And
I could very easily bench Evan Nielsen and play Gibbs White,
Yeah, that would work as well, wouldn't it? And in terms of the premiums, should we just talk about Cole Palmer? Because there's a lot of managers that wanted to captain Cole Palmer this week. 1 pointer, subbed on 72 minutes, missed the penalty at home to Leicester. And that's you were pleased to see him have a spot kick because he's been so out of form. He's not scored since game week 21, which was in January in the league. And then he fails to convert. And I think he could have, I know obviously the fixture isn't the best for game week 29, Arsenal away, but people are going to be looking at him now as to whether include him on free hit, whether he becomes the cash cow to get Haaland, who's going to be a popular pick for the next few game weeks. You look at Haaland's fixtures, Brighton at home, Leicester at home, United away, Crystal Palace at home. I think if you look at a lot of the projections for the next 3 game weeks at least. Haaland's kind of there on a par with, Salah's, Isak's. And, you could captain him for the next 3 game weeks if you were to buy him this week. It's just, how do you get him if you're not on free hit?
You need at least 2, if not 3 transfers. And some will use Isak money, some will use Trent money, some will use Salah money, and some will use Palmer money. But many will have to use 2 of those 4 to find the money for Haaland. He's that much more expensive. A lot are saying they'll sell Salah. I think a lot are saying that. And then when push comes to shove, they'll struggle. I don't like that move. I don't like that move even if you're buying Salah back on Wildcard in game week 31. It still means you don't have Salah for 30. He's got Everton at home. And when you buy him back on Wildcard, you're going to end up paying about, for many, it'll be 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. You'll lose.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
That's a lot of money on a wildcard, 0.6, 0.7. We're not talking 0.1 or 2 here. That's a significant upgrade somewhere.
Yeah, especially if you're looking to wildcard and then bench boost post wildcard before the end of the season, because you need a squad of 15. You're not just buying 11, are you?
Good point.
I look at my squad and, Salah can't go anywhere.
So Palmer's the perfect cash cow. But Palmer has a game, and people see that and go, what if he scores versus Arsenal? Guys, on my free hit team, Cole Palmer's not in it. Like, I'm happy to dump Cole Palmer. It's Arsenal. It's a very good defence. I think you can really dump Palmer very comfortably. And you might, even if that means having 10 men instead of 11. Palmer's going to get 2 points versus Arsenal.
But in my position where I can only get to 10 at best if I don't free hit.
You're now at 9.
Yeah. So I'm not in a position where I can sell Palmer to get Haaland. I think I'm going to try and play without Haaland.
What about, 29 is fine to play without Haaland, but the big topic is who do you captain? But Haaland's not the most amazing captain at Brighton. He's probably the standout, but he's not the most amazing one. But what about 30, Haaland? If you're wildcarding in 30, that's fine. If you're wildcarding in 31, you go against Haaland versus Leicester at home.
I know, and that is a scary prospect, isn't it? I don't know what to do. But even if I was to free hit, I still wouldn't own Haaland in 30, would I?
Well, would you not? I am. I'm free hitting in 29, and I'm 100% owning Haaland in 30. Because remember, if you're free hitting in 29, you're not wildcarding till much later. So it's not about owning Haaland for Leicester. It's about owning Haaland for the next 6 games, which includes a double game week and maybe 2 doubles. So I'm gonna move heaven and earth to have Haaland in 30. I've left the money in the bank. As you know, I've been planning this for a long time. So I've got Cunha to Haaland, Palmer to 6.1 or below. I'll have options by then. I should be able to punt on a Minter because I think he's going to double or whatever.
Yeah, that's nice, to be fair. So are you planning on wildcarding then? Is that going to be 34?
Yeah. You can't have a good team for 33 and 4, but I can dead end to 33, wildcard 34. Yeah. So what 34 wildcard is booked in, unless I happen to get to 34. And by the way, it's fallen from the FA Cup works that my team is okay. And we didn't get the doubles in 33 we thought we were going to get. But if we think what's going to happen happens, Ben Crellin's predictions, then it's a locked-in 34 wildcard. And then I can bench boost in 35, 36, 30. Like, bench boost for me is rubbish. It's going to be 4 single game weekers. Even 33 bench boosters will be 4 single game weekers because the teams doubling aren't sexy teams where you're going to... The dream of 15 players playing twice on the bench boost doesn't stick this season. It's not going to be possible. So I'm happy bench
boosting. You may find another week. You may find that...
Yeah. Just a random
30, week. 31 or 32. If you know that you're going to have 4 single game weekers for 35 to 38, for example, then it may be that the opportunity is better elsewhere. I don't think I've had a week this season where my bench points have been ridiculous.
Oh, I have. I had one where it was like 30 something, and I was like, there's a few weeks this season where I wish I bench boosted, and because we didn't get the doubles that we thought we were going to get, actually, note to self, with the FA Cup replays going and the doubles not being as big, next season it might be that, and if the assistant managership stays, bench boosting is one you can do in a single game week very comfortably.
I agree. Going back onto wildcard strategy then, obviously game week 30 could be a time to wildcard. And by then we'll know who's in the FA Cup semi-finals. but we're not going to know because it's a midweek deadline, the game week
Tuesday.
30 deadline. We're not going to know. I think it's very unlikely that the Premier League will have announced the fixture changes caused by the FA Cup semi-finals.
They've just not been doing that, have they? They've been doing Friday announcements for their doubles and blanks.
Yeah.
Friday at like 5 p.m. So Friday afternoon. So we can guess, but it's very risky because there's a lot of midweek spare for a lot of teams like your Brightons and your Bournemouths. It's like, there's no European football. So yes, I can drop it at the nearest opportunity at 33, but actually I could also put it in 35 or 6 or whatever. So it feels risky wildcarding in 30. 31 wildcarders are absolutely safe. But for someone like you, Holly, that doesn't have a route to Haaland, maybe you will wildcard in 30 because you'll go, that's my only way of getting Haaland in.
I mean, I could still see myself not owning Haaland for the rest of the season. And that probably sounds crazy to you.
No, it doesn't. I think that's a good talking point, Hull. Like, people are talking about ditching Salah to get Haaland. Yeah. Given the choice, it's a no-brainer for both of us, Salah, right? Like, no contest.
But then I can understand why people are ditching Salah as well. And I feel like...
Ooh, I can't.
I mean, it's hard to say exactly when Liverpool will have the league properly sewn up. I mean, as we're recording this, Arsenal are losing away at Manchester United, and there's currently a 16-point lead for Liverpool at the top of the table.
I think Salah's so selfish and personal glory and accolades and contract chat and goals. He still will play every minute.
Yeah, but then it's Champions League as well, isn't it? It depends how far Liverpool get in the Champions League. Like,
true.
They may not see the midweek out. They didn't really deserve to get that 1-0 away at PSG, did they? And I think backs against the wall. Then they've got the League Cup final, haven't they? But I think being out of the FA Cup is going to help them a little bit in terms of minutes. I think that definitely helped Salah in the last game week. I mean, I was buzzing though to see him break that record. Like, that is just ridiculous. I did actually tip him on the fantasy show that I did last Friday. I said he got a brace in a reverse fixture. If he does that again, then he's going to beat his points record. He's still got 9 games to go. Like,
why has that not been clipped and put on a TikTok, Holly? Come on.
True. I'm slacking, aren't I? But he could get to nearly 400 at his current rate.
He's definitely going to get over 350. So yeah, I mean, it's madness. That, you know, and we forget the record he's beaten is from so long ago. It was his first season, and he's always been amazing and put up really good numbers. But you know,
I really don't understand how he's done it, but every game he's just so inevitable. It's ridiculous. Like, he blanked at home once all season, and that was when their only defeat, that 1-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest, who look like they're, going to get a Champions League spot as things stand.
Yeah. I think, it's a proper interesting conversation to ditch Salah. But even if they're doing well in the Champions League, people go, oh, well, he rested. He needs momentum and minutes in his legs.
Yeah.
And Liverpool will be playing with some sort of swagger and freedom, just like they did yesterday. The league's won. They still produced 4.5 XG versus Southampton. I know they're 1-0 down, but that was, an error. I just think ditching Salah's madness. I can't really indulge the conversation. We should move on.
Yeah, I think it's funny how things have switched this season, that Salah is the one that you're terrified of not owning, and the whole fear of not owning Haaland has been obliterated. It's really exactly. Weird, because at the start of the season, like, you were in the minority if you were considering Salah over Haaland or both over just Haaland. And obviously the pricing of Haaland had a massive influence on that.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I've been stung this season hugely for being slow to get to Mo. Like, I remember when I was captaining Haaland for all those XG big games and everyone else was captaining Salah. But where I went really wrong was, not only was I going against Salah by having Haaland captain, but I didn't even own Salah as a backup. Those that had
Yeah.
Salah in their team could afford to bet against him because he was getting, you still get the points. I wasn't getting either. So all those that are crying on Twitter today about owning Palmer captain and having Salah, one, they're lucky they had, well, not lucky. They had Salah in their team anyway, so the damage is not as big as you might think. And two, you've just done it once. I've done that 10 times this season. Like, guys, it's fine. You can bet against the obvious and it can go wrong. You just have to face up to it and move on. And Salah, like he did on Saturday, had loads of those games early in the season. Like, don't get me wrong, he's been the best player in the league this season by some distance. But he had a fair few games where he picked up 10, 15 pointers, 30 for captainers, and he did very little but a dodgy pen and a tap in the last minute. It's just what Liverpool do. It's what Salah does. It's what makes him the best player in the game. His routes to points are obscene.
Yeah. And was it on Wildcard that you decided to go no Salah? And then it was like for a few weeks, it was like, oh, well, I'm going to make this move and make this move. And then in 2 weeks' time, I'll have enough money and enough transfers to get Salah. And I was like, get him now. I think
don't think I had him at all.
For about a month.
I think I had him before. I don't think I had him on what I didn't own Salah till like game week, I don't know, 12 or whatever it was. Like I went big on Haaland. Like when everyone dropped Haaland to get to Salah on Wildcard, I didn't do it because not many started the season with Salah, did they? They all had Haaland only drafts. Yeah. And then they moved to Salah on Wildcard. I didn't. But Haaland went to rubbish and I had to get rid of him. But for about a month, Haaland was still good and clocking like 2 XG a game. And that's what was really stupid. Yeah. This weekend, Holly, who got your iron? I took a hit this week because I have to. Like, I'm looking at how my team can look like wildcard teams in 30-31. So I'm buying, that'll be going double Newcastle, double Palace. I already have them, but I'd have taken hits. So I'm just a hit this week for Dan Burn and Ismail Assar. Ismail Assar paid off. I sold Dango, who I knew wouldn't start. And then I'm taking a hit in 30. So I'm big on the hits, but it's saving the wildcard.
You're big on the hits. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to take some hits to save my free hit. I honestly could not tell you what I'm doing next week yet. Like, because obviously I don't really want to sell my Liverpool players or my Newcastle players. So it's probably going to be Watkins. Watkins needs to go, I think. It's just a shame, really, because since I bought him, it's been pretty good. I think I've had 4 attacking returns from him in 5 game weeks.
Oh, don't. I regret selling Watkins 2 weeks ago for Cunha.
Yeah, so I think Watkins has to go, but then the trouble is I don't know whether I'm buying for a week, 2 game weeks, 5 game weeks.
And you're probably not buying Watkins back, although he does double in 33. Very likely. Yeah. So when you look at the players, if you're trying to get 11 out, and this is for anyone that's not free hitting in 29, who are the players that you think on wildcard you're bringing back in, and therefore you got money tied up in them? Salah, Isak, it could be Trent. They're the ones you can't sell. The likes of Morgan Rogers or Watkins.
I've got Konza, Rogers, and Watkins are the ones that need to make way.
Which ones are you going to have on wildcard? If the answer's all 3, then you just simply shouldn't be transferring them out.
I know this is the thing. Every time I look at my transfers, I keep thinking I need to free hit. It's really difficult. And then it's like Jacob Murphy. I've owned him for a while. I mean, he's probably going to have to go.
If you free hit, you keep those 3 transfers and you won't need to that will be a mini wild card when you have 5 transfers in a few weeks' time if you need to. I think, by the way you're talking,
that I'm going to do it.
That free hit's no bad thing for you. Because very few managers have the Aston Villa players. I mean, what you don't have, I'm guessing, is the Palace players. They make free hit so much easier because they're getting the points and they give you an option to go, I can't sell them. They've got Southampton next week or whoever they've got. And they got a double game week in 32. And the Newcastle players who double in 32 as well.
Yeah. I mean, I look at my team for 29. I've got Pickford in goal at home to West Ham, and he's not kept a clean sheet in the last 5 game weeks or his last 5 league games. I've got Robinson at home to Spurs, who has just gone back-to-back 0 pointers. Yeah. I've got Vandenberg, who's red flagged. I've got Gabriel with Chelsea at home coming up against Parma, and I'm not expecting anything from either of them. So the only players I look at that I think could be all right for me this week are Chris Wood away at Ipswich and Cliver at home to Brentford.
I think Pickford's all right though, in terms of a player. Like it's a good. I'm looking at Pickford even on free hit, but yeah, Kluivert and Wood. You don't have an Mbeumo, who again the template. You don't have Haaland, so the template players that will be highly owned. Well, we've just named a couple of them.
I don't even. The thing is, if I don't sell Trent, Salah, or Isak, how am I going to get Mbeumo in? I can't. I need a cash cow, so then I'm down another man.
I mean, you get him on free hit, and then you don't need him. You don't need Chris. You don't need Mbeumo moving forward. He's not got great fixtures, but you'd like him versus Bournemouth.
Yeah, I feel like I'm moving towards free hit, aren't I? I don't think I've got any regrets.
I'm so I'm up for it, but
yeah, like I could have bought Munoz this week, and I didn't. But
yeah,
I've got 3 free transfers now, haven't I?
You're going to be spending a lot of time on those planners. Guys, let us know what you think Holly should do in the comments. Hit the buttons as well. Like and subscribe. We'd love you to. Let's end on a bang. This is my last show. We've said that earlier. Hit the buttons and all that jazz. Holly, let's end the show on something different. Let's talk a little bit about should we do captaincy?
Yeah, we need to do captaincy, don't we?
If we're not doing Haaland, who are the captain options? And who would you captain if you didn't have Haaland? Is it Kluivert? Is it Chris Wood? I mean, Chris Wood gives you an option.
Yeah, Chris Wood at the moment. That's where the armband is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Could you go Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah. After his goal in game week 28, I mean, United just don't function that well, but it is Leicester. And I think we have to remember that. Leicester are a different beast in terms of a beast of badness. Like you can back against them with any team because they're Leicester. Bruno's not bad, but look, Haaland's the standout, isn't he? Like there's no denying that.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a leak that Foden starts,
Haaland's the standout. No. Don't make me do this. So yeah, I like it. I think it's an option.
Free hit. Got to think about it still. I honestly don't know when I'm going to make a decision on it.
Well, you've got to by Tuesday making a team selection video.
Well, true. Unless I just
You're not one of those that does a team selection video and goes, I could do this, or maybe this, and maybe this. And you're like, I've just learned nothing about your team. You're not one of them. I know you're not because I've watched your team selection videos.
I'm to the point, aren't I? Like at the moment, I think like if Palmer or Gabriel was to pick up an issue midweek,
that's your trigger.
That would be my trigger. I need the triggers.
I mean, I had them with all my flags. That helped.
Yeah, definitely.
Holly, parenting hacks.
Parenting hacks.
My parenting hack is to take the little one away for 3 months when you can, because you, 1, work remotely. I know I'm in a privileged position here, but 2, before school starts, because when school starts, it's curtains.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's lovely what you're doing, and I think she's going to absolutely love it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Hope she does anyway.
I'm so excited. My head's gone already. I'm just just there already. Like,
is it going to be a lot hotter than here?
Yeah, but April's not massively hot. Like it'll be quite wet. Well, not quite wet. It won't be as wet as England, but it's not like great summer. It's still spring there. But then come May, certainly June will be hot. May won't be. Yeah. But the real hot months is, July, August, September. So I'm missing them, which is a good thing because I don't want it, I don't want 40 to 35 degrees and stuff. Like just give me low 20s and sun. So I'm going to be coming back for the fantasy show to do with you on the Premier League in May. So we get to catch up, which is nice.
Yeah, that will be nice. We did one in October, didn't we?
Well, let's coordinate with that. So, I'm staying over, but I'm
staying over the night before. Are we in the same hotel? Travelodge, Stockley Park.
Yeah.
Right, brilliant.
Annoyingly, I land at like 11 p.m. at Heathrow, so I won't get there till midnight or something.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to see
you. You'll be in bed. Yeah,
I'll be in bed.
We'll text. But I'll see you in the morning for breakfast. Yes. At PLP. We can walk to PLP together, can't we?
We can. Sounds like a date.
Yeah, it sounds like a date. Holly, I think we should call it.
We should. I feel a bit emotional. We've got here. Final episode of the season.
Guys, do get your comments in. Show us some love. The best thing you could do is hit the subscribe button or follow us on socials or rate us on pod platforms and all that jazz. But we'd love your love.
Are you going to see us out with a little bit of Italian?
Don't make me.
Yeah,
People give me stick already. My Italian, my accent's funny because it's my dad's Sicilian dialect with the Italian I've picked up. And yeah, no, I can do impressions of people and stuff like that and different English accents, but I don't like talking Italian because people are just so quick to be like, tell you your pronunciation's rubbish. But my confidence is definitely there when I'm there. Even when I go on holiday, I give it. Like and they're probably like, what does he say again? But they nod along and they indulge me. Good stuff. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We've enjoyed the season with you. Apologies on my part for calling it short, but a special thank you to Holly for guiding us through, for being amazing, for being my mate, being my confidant, my chat on a Sunday night. As always, an FPL mentor as well. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Holly, thank you to you. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.